to another episode of React to TikTok.
A toilet. The estimate would say, install new toilet.
He ain't telling plumbers how to bill people?
Right. I would never give that plane up.
Yeah.
Let's see what brilliant people are on TikTok today.
Never split labor and materials on a customer's bill. Trust me, they don't want to know. Let's say you're replacing a toilet. The estimate would say, install new toilet, and then all the steps to replace the toilet. Clean up and dispose of existing toilet. This includes all labor and materials, 1 year worry-free warranty, $900.
$900 for a toilet? This guy's full of shit.
This stops the customer from relating the price to how much you make per hour, but relating the price to the work that you're doing. That way you can charge the rate that you need to charge to be in business without customers feeling like they're getting ripped off.
He ain't telling plumbers how to fucking bill people? That's how you get ripped off. When you hire somebody to do a job, you need to think about how much is the cost of the materials, how much time is it gonna take, add that number together, and that's how much you should be paying. I'm not saying you shouldn't have profit and overhead in there, but there's no reason why you pay $900 for a goddamn toilet to be installed. Fucking doctors ain't making that. Your job is to spend as less money as possible in expenses on operating your property. You need a toilet? Go look and see what Home Depot's charging. What, $100? Guy's gotta come over there, he's gotta pull the toilet out. It takes him tops 1 hour, maybe 2. He's only paying that plumber at best 30-something bucks an hour. He's gonna bill him out for $350? Come on. Don't let him mark up the goddamn toilet. He'll buy that goddamn toilet for $100 and charge you $500. That's where you get screwed. But he's gotta make money, he's running a business. So fine, he's into the materials for $200. He's gonna pay that guy for 2 hours, another $100 even, that's $300. He's gotta make some money. Typically 20% profit and overhead. Maybe he wants 30, I don't know. So he's into the job for $300. He should charge you even $100. It should be about $400 tops. And that's from a first-class, high-end plumbing guy anywhere. But $900 is totally ridiculous. So when somebody wants to screw you over, do your homework.
Bought that deal for $50 million and I'm listing it for $87 million 18 months later.
What happens if I die? What should happen to daddy's money?
There's not enough hours in the day. I'm busy. I got Ben Jr. having to get reports done. I'm looking for $30+ million worth of real estate, and I got a list a mile long of things I gotta get done. And Carla didn't make me any lunch. And I got a haircut coming in about 10 minutes. And what do I eat? I'm gonna go and have a Factor, baby. Jalapeno lime cheddar chicken. Sounds good to me. Factor delivers fresh, never frozen, chef-prepared meals delivered right to your doorstep, baby. Poke some holes, pop it in the micro, and in 2 minutes, we're gonna be eating good. No shopping, no cooking, no cleaning. It's simple. Factor offers meals for a variety of lifestyles, from keto, calorie smart, chef's choice, and even vegan and veggie options. It's ready. You see, a Factor meal is faster and cheaper than takeout. I love rice. Delicious. And it's got a kick. Chicken cheddar, baby. I know you guys can't smell it, but it smells and tastes delicious. If you want to support our channel, order some meals. Head to Factor75.com or click the link below and use code Mallah50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code Mallah50 at Factor75.com to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month of orders. Thank you, Factor, for sponsoring this video. Now back to the program.
What cars do you have?
I have a G-Wagon, an Escalade in Malibu, and now I have a Rolls Cullinan on a lease, a Range Rover. I'm not extravagant, okay? All my stuff is paid for. I have no debt anywhere in my life. Nowhere except my cash flow producing real estate.
And the jet.
Well, yeah, whatever. I mean, it's negligible.
Right.
I would never give that plane up.
Yeah.
I'm giving my kids up.
You know what's funny? Papa John said the same thing.
They say the exact same thing.
He's like, I don't need anything except for my jet. I need the private jet.
Yeah, and the guys that own yachts say, hey, I'll give up my plane, but I'm not giving up my yacht.
You got to figure out what's right for you. Okay, all that stuff works for him, but it don't work for me. I don't have a $15 million jet. My jet's probably worth a couple of million. And I got partners. So in reality, I'm probably only into that thing for about $500,000. And I got access it pretty much anytime I want. Well, he spends $15 million to have his own private jet, that's fine. He's probably got pilots on, hand all the time. I hire pilots when I need them because I have an airplane management company. You may have a big need to have a plane that can jump up and take me over here, take me over there. I'm gonna go buy a building over here. We raise more money? Okay, let's go spend it over here. That's his life, and God bless him. Me, I like the budget, baby. I got, can I go out and buy a $15 million plane? Fuck yeah, I could. I could pick up the phone right now and buy one. Hey, I'm buying a fucking jet today. My friend just told me where to wire the money. But I'm not. It doesn't fit my lifestyle. The other day, my wife looked at me and she says, I'm thinking about going to Miami. She wants to, can I use the plane? Hell no, you can't use the plane. Go commercial. Problem is this, when you send the plane somewhere, if you don't come back, you're either keeping pilots sitting around doing nothing on salary, or you got to pay for the plane to go back and then come back and get you again. So it gets very costly, okay? We're not, even though we got the money, we don't do that. That's not our lifestyle. Everybody's got their own lifestyle. If you want to take that plane to Miami, it would have cost me $5,000 for her the plane to drop her off. And it would cost me another $5,000 to come pick her up. $10,000 for her to go shopping? I'd rather she spend it on something that she still got it. If she bought something for $10,000, well, at least she got stuff you bought for $10,000.
I want the mailbox. Can we take it home?
Do you really?
Yeah.
It says $29,500. Okay, I don't like blowing a lot of money. If I buy something nice, I want a bargain. The boat, he's right. I'm not getting rid of my boat because the yacht is definitely something that's like therapy. Okay, it's it brings us pleasure. It's great for the whole family. We get to use it to travel. And if you figure out what it will cost me to use my plane, go stay in a fancy hotel, all the other stuff that you got to pay for while you're there at the hotel. I bring my hotel with me everywhere I go when I'm on my boat. We've run out of goat cheese and marmalade. I don't know what we're gonna do. I do have a captain, but my captain just doesn't drive the boat. He eliminates any management. Yeah, he runs the boat, but he also fixes stuff that he can fix. He makes sure I'm not getting ripped off by the guys that he can't fix stuff that he has to hire. Leasing, I don't do leasing. You don't really own it when you lease it. Because he's leasing a Cullinan, it's a $500,000 car, which makes sense to me to get a $500,000 SUV. Again, it's your own lifestyle, your own personal taste. Instead of the Cullinan for $500,000, for $1.25, $1.30, I got her one made by the same company, but it says BMW on it. Because SUVs, you're gonna use them, You don't want her to beat the hell out of a Rolls Royce, and she would. If I got her a Cullinan, oh my God. Next.
If someone to make $1 million in real estate, what would you recommend for them to do?
Do not immediately go into real estate investing. I think a lot of people think that that's where you make money. That's also where you can lose a significant amount of money.
There's risk in everything, but if you want to make $1 million in real estate, you got to have a plan. And it may not be done in one deal. It may take 10 deals. Depends what level you're on. Okay, but if you want to work your way up to making $1 million, you got to have a plan. I didn't have all this instantaneously. I started off with the first deal making me probably 30 or 40 grand, all right? But then you get on a roll, baby, and then eventually you get to $1 million. If you think you're gonna walk out and make $1 million tomorrow, is it possible? Yes, but you better have some serious money to do it. Because a lot of times, yeah, you go out and buy something for $15 million and it's worth $16 to $17 million, you can do it all day long if you got a plan and you found the right deal. But you can't just say, hey, I want to make $1 million in real estate. Well, how much you got to start with? It's going to take something, but you can't work your way up to it. There's no easy answer. Now, what he's saying is what?
Not immediately go into real estate investing. I think a lot of people think that that's where you make money. That's also where you can lose a significant amount of money.
Listen. People go into real estate because the opportunity is there. The richest people in this world have always made money in real estate. No matter what you're doing, there's risk in everything. Okay, but in real estate, you can calculate your risks. You treat real estate as a business. Money in, money out. What do you got to do to make it worth more money? Just like any other business. When I look at a deal, I underwrite the deal. I look at what the comps are. What do they sell for? I check all these boxes to see what is the risk? What's the cash flow? What's the competition doing? There's no risk if you do your homework.
Your time is what you're investing into creating relationships for people that are going to pay you to help them do a real estate transaction that you have nothing to do with. You don't have to buy the glue or the nuts or the bolt.
Listen, your time is what you're investing no matter what you're doing. But brokerage is great. And thank God for all the brokers. If it wasn't for brokers, I wouldn't be here today. but they're not where I'm at. You're a service person. And yes, you can make a lot of money. I know brokers that make at least $1 million or $2 million a year, but I can make $1 million or $2 million in one deal. For you to make $1 million right away in a broker in a deal, you're gonna have to sell about $100 million to get that $1 million fee. But if you want to make the big money, you got to move away from being a service person to the person that's hiring the service. I hire lawyers, I hire brokers, I hire insurance people, I hire people. They're all service people to perform a service, but I'm the one pulling the strings. And that's what it's all about, real estate. If you're a broker, you should always become an owner, because you should know everything that the owner knows, because you're helping them buy the deal or sell a deal. You know, I went into management instead of brokerage, and that's how I got in. Managing other people's property led to ownership. Helping people buy and sell property should lead to ownership. Ownership is the big end game. But if it works for him, God bless him. He's selling $80 million, $100 million condos in New York. It works for him, that's great.
What happens if I die? What should happen to daddy's money? My oldest son said it should go to me. And then my daughter's like, but what about me? Why can't I have my own money? And then next thing you know, argument starts. Awesome, okay? Because now we can manage a future conflict.
If you are successful like this gentleman here, you have to have a plan, because we all gonna die one day, okay? It's called a trust. And you have to determine what's the best trust that you want for your family that's gonna accomplish what you want. It's not that easy. Oh, I got a bunch of money, I'm gonna leave it to kids. All right, listen, yes, if it's, the government says each person, if you're married double, can have up to $13 million to give away when you die, and your kids or whoever you're leaving it to don't have to pay inheritance tax. You know why? Inheritance tax is 40%. So if you're worth over $26 million and you're married, then yes, you have to worry about how you're gonna leave the money to kids. But you shouldn't be worrying your kids about inherited money. My kids aren't worried about inherited money. My kids are worried about making money. So when I die, they're gonna have their own money already. And then whatever they get from me, even better, okay? Encourage your kids to create for themselves. The problem is, there's gonna be too many kids growing up now in this new generation that are gonna inherit stuff. And don't start telling them that when they're young, because then they're never gonna wanna really maybe try to get ahead, because, oh, what am I worried about? When the old man dies, I'll be in the dough. No, that's not the way you talk to your kids. Teach your kids how to make money. I did with mine, and what did they do? They made me money. And then when I die, then they get their share. And they get plenty while they're working for themselves before I die. You have to pick the right trust. And I'm learning right now. I don't know a lot about it. I'm trying to learn. You have revocable trusts that you can take it away if you give it to them while you're alive. And you have irrevocable trusts. But each one has different benefits, okay? Then you have capital gains tax. Then you have inheritance tax if you're over the 26 million. Anything over the 26 million, they gotta pay 40% of. So if you leave them 50 million, you're gonna deduct right now 26 million, which, by the way, could go away. So if you don't plan on using it now, you might lose it. Biden was talking about making it go away. They want to collect tax on everything, baby. They want it all. And you pay tax to earn the money to begin with. Now your kids gotta pay tax on the money you already earned and pay tax on? How many times you gotta pay tax on the same goddamn money? It's crazy. Anyway, 50 million minus 26 million is 24 million. They're gonna pay 40% inheritance tax on that 24 million. They're gonna give away $9.6 million. Listen, I'm a firm believer, you get what you earn, okay? And all my kids, luckily, have earned it. So I'm not worried about, oh, this one, I'm giving this one that bullshit. They all earned it, they're all entitled to it. That's the way it works.
The perils of property taxes taking a toll on Tamara Ransom. She bought her Winter Haven home last May, but less than a year later, it's on the market after receiving an unwelcome surprise.
I felt like I'd been baited and switched. When you buy a house, I see the taxes at $2,700. I expected to vary a little bit, you know, a few hundred, $1,000, but in no way did I expect it would go.
A lot of people have this problem, whether it's residential or commercial, and it's real simple. They didn't do their homework. The problem is this: she bought a house that the person she probably bought it from lived in there for probably 20-something years. The house had a very little value on it back then. And over the years, it only increased a little. You know why? Because there's something in your personal residence called homestead. When you live in your own personal residence, they can only increase your property taxes so much every year, so it doesn't go through the roof. But the next guy, he's gonna buy that house for 10 times what you had it valued for, and what causes the tax assessor's office to reevaluate and reassess your house is a sale. Because they're gonna determine the value based on what you're paying. Typically, it's 80% of the value. Everything in real estate, it's not a secret. But you gotta know, you gotta do your homework. You gotta know, if I buy this house, it's gonna have a higher value because we're gonna record a sale telling the whole world what this house is worth now. And I have to calculate what my new tax bill will be. I've seen it a million times. People call me up and consult with Ben. They're going over the numbers on the deal they want to buy. I said, okay, but what's your new tax bill gonna be? Oh, I didn't think of that. Well, this guy's on the roll for 10 million. You're buying it for 20 million. They're gonna record the sale at 20 million. They're gonna take 80% of that, and they're gonna say your house is worth almost still double what his tax bill was. And that's gonna cost you money, and that's gonna hurt your income, and the property ain't worth what you're paying because you're paying too much because you're not accounting for the higher tax bill. It's gonna eat up your expenses and lower your NOI. These are things you just gotta know in real estate. Everything's a formula. If you do your homework, you won't get hurt. Every area has different tax rates. It's called a millage rate. Some places you gotta pay so much for the fire department, for the school. Every city and area has a different millage rate within the county. If you wanna learn more about stuff like this, go to benmal.com, consult with Ben, get me on the phone. You spend a few bucks now, it can save you a whole lot later. You can get me on the phone, you can meet me at my hotel, or you can come here, baby. You decide what's best for you.
I bought a shopping center up in New Jersey. It's a $50 million shopping center. The property was just beat to crap. Parking lot was completely ravaged. The facade looked like shit, but it had tenants like Walmart, Lowe's, TJ Maxx, had some good brands, McDonald's, all the big brands. This is things like 350,000 square feet. It's a monster. I end up spending millions and millions of dollars remodeling the facade, remodeling the parking lot, talking to tenants. And right out the gate, we relocated Home Goods, which is one of the TJ Maxx company's brands. And Skechers followed Home Goods. And then for Bed Bath, we brought in Ross. So it went from the center that was faltering to having the biggest, most famous expanding brands in the country now. Bought that deal for $50 million, and I'm listing it for $87 million 18 months later.
Everything he said made total sense to me. He did a retail value add. What did he do? He found a center that was weak, and he turned it into a power center. How? You fix it up, you fill the space, you got more money coming in, and the place is worth more money. It ain't rocket science. That's the only way you can make money, in my opinion, in retail real estate. When you buy a shopping center, you're buying it on a cap rate based on the amount of return you're gonna get on the price. If it's $1 million a year and it's paying a 10 cap, you're gonna get $100,000 a year. Simple. You buy it, you're buying it on the income that it is currently generating. The vacant space should come for free. Why? Because it's not generating income. So typically, it's not counted in determining the value of the price of real estate. It's all math. If it ain't making no money, it ain't worth shit. And now when you fill it, then it's worth something. Because while it's sitting empty, you gotta pay its share of the CAM costs. So really, when you get empty space, it's gonna bleed you a little. He was able to do it, he added value to the property, and he just turned around and made a fortune. Great for him. Tell us if you like doing TikTok reacts. Send us some TikToks. Let's react to some of the ones you like. Subscribe. Watch another video. Don't forget about our sponsor. Adios, amigos.